Hello people, my name is Grover. I'm sitting in the park today and I'm going to make this video. It's something I've been thinking about for a minute. So, Rasgrove, here we go. Nice beautiful day. And I have the river here behind me. It's a pity we can't enjoy it like we're supposed to. Because as you can see, everybody is out there going back and forth. Everybody's trying to make as much money as they can. So nobody really has time for all this beautiful park and all that stuff. You know, and the reason for that is only one thing. It's greed. Somebody set the tone for all this greed. So people are more into money than nature. And we live our whole lives chasing this money, to the point where everything else gets neglected. It don't even make sense to have all this money and all this stuff that you got and you can't even enjoy it. It's just there for other people to see, to act and give you some impression that you're doing all this. You know, it's all about impression. You know, somebody gives you the impression they got all this and they got all that, but they can't enjoy it. They're not enjoying it. It's just there for an impression. So what do? How do you make life more enjoyable? So it's just not a show for your neighbors, keeping up with the Joneses. Well, it's all acknowledgement of God, because if you don't acknowledge God, you're not going to acknowledge His creation. So, you know, you got to read between the lines. Not everybody says that talking about God is interested in God. You know, they're just taking advantage of the innate human nature to praise God. You know, they take your innate human nature to praise God and twist it around and use it against you. So you find that the wickedest people could give an impression of righteousness, because all they got to do is sweep the wickedness under the rug and put up this pretense. So, whole lot of pretenders. Some people pretend they don't even know they're pretending. You know, they just following, as they come into this world, they just follow the status quo. And that's all they do, because I follow the status quo. Because a lot of the times we don't know no better. I didn't know no better. I didn't know this shit was all I didn't, pardon my language, I didn't know this was all a setup. You know, it took me a while to figure out this was all a setup. You know, because I always wondered, what is going on? You know, until somebody, you know, because, you know, black people coming out of slavery, we coming out of slavery with a lot of ignorance. You know, hundreds of years of being illegal for us to learn to read and to even be mentally challenged. So, you know, you find our foreparents come down telling us a lot of this nonsense, and by the fact that you can't actually research it, you tend to believe it. You know, so when somebody come and tell you that the earth belongs to them, and everything on it belongs to them, including you, and you're like, what's going on? You know what I mean? How could somebody get to such a conclusion? How can somebody get to the conclusion that the earth that God made belongs to them, and everything is in their control, or they're going to force themselves into controlling everything, and everything that goes on, they have to be at the head of it. So, you know, nobody else has room to move but these rich people on the top, because they got everything set up in their favor, and you can't move until they tell you you can move. So everybody is in stagnation, and it's only the rich getting very richer, because they are the one making the rules that everybody else is following, and we're following these rules against our own best intentions. So we're following a rule that set us to keep us down and keep these people rich. And they got us down here in a pit, fighting against each other, laughing at us, generation after generation. It's a funny thing I see. You know, and then they want to act like something wrong with you if you don't want to go along with this setup. because it's such a nice thing that they on top and they're gonna take care of you, you know. And these people not gonna take care of nobody, you know. They're just trying to keep face and look like they're so important on this planet. But when push comes to shove, everybody's on their own, because these people can, if they can use you to look good and important and rich and all that stuff, they're gonna get rid of you. So all in all, whatever you do, it's all about them. It's nothing about you. You know, it's you are here for their benefit. And you're like, no, you know, I'm here for God's benefit. You know, I'm not here for a man to come and tell me how I need to live my life and plan this stuff out for me before I was even born. You know, it's like, how can somebody plan my life for me before I was even born? How would they know what I want to do? Because it's a setup. So your mama gonna come and teach you the setup, and put this book in your life. This book that these people wrote that justifies their intention. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could write a book that justifies their intentions. You know what I'm saying? Self-praise ain't no praise. You know, when somebody writes a book about you, giving you praise, then you got a book. But anybody could write a book about themselves and give themselves top-notch praise and top-notch everything. You know what I mean? That's normal human nature to begin with anyway, because every book I ever read was about the person that's reading it, give them in themselves top-notch praises. We were the bomb and wrote nobody else nothing. It's all about us. Everybody writes a book like that. You very seldom you're going to find a book that's written that somebody else writes giving anybody else praise. Nobody's going to write a book giving anybody else praise. That's a real book you're going to find. And so everybody comes down and gets this book rammed down their throat, and the whole world is living by it. And to me, I can't even see that. It's just a crock of bull to me, because there is no way God made all this stuff and all these people and go and pick out a special people. You know what I mean? That don't even make no sense to me. So when you look at it, you see these people pick themselves out. So they pick themselves out, and through they are the inventors of all this media stuff, that they give themselves reinforcement with their media on their intentions. And you don't pay it no mind. You just read it in their newspaper, you read it in their books, you read it and read it, and you just accept it without question, because you don't have intelligence to go seek the knowledge. So right now it's knowledge seeking time, and it's so it goes. So this is my first video. I'm going to make a couple more videos, and then I have a book coming out. So I have a book coming out that's going to give people a little clearer perspective on what the Rastaman see when he look out here on the world. So people, wish us luck. You know, we got to break this spell over our life, because we can't keep living generation after generation with our life planned out for us, all the way up to retirement and pension. I mean, and the people who are giving out these retirement and pensions don't even have no use for us. You know what I mean? Their retirement and pension is based on a salary that you couldn't even live on when you were young. So how is that going to help you? You know, the only way you can help you is to be in the lead of your own life. You know what I mean? Good or bad. So this is what the perspective the Rastaman got to take in this time, because we see after hundreds of years of all this nonsense and things are getting worse. Look at the world today. Worse and worse, more populated and worse. So it's like something gonna happen. Something is gonna happen, and it's gonna be either genocide or equity. You know, because when people have it so good that they have the whole world deceived now, that nobody is even paying attention to their story anymore. You just accept it. You know, it's like, because the wickedest people now, they got what they want, so they can turn around and pretend they're the most righteous people. And so, you know, I can't even see that. You know, wicked is wicked and righteous is righteous. If you want to be righteous, do righteous things. You know, don't be wicked and then tell me you're righteous with words. Show me your righteousness with your deeds. And so that's all we're saying. So we're going to continue with this this topic. I'm going to see what I'm going to do to get this book out, and I need people's support to put this book out. So if you want to support me, and you see what I'm talking about, I'm just for betterness in life, for people, for everybody. You know what I mean? It's like how Imperial Majesty said. You know, if we got to get to a world where people respecting each other. You know, we can't keep this disrespectful tone going on. So we got to get to a point where people go respect you more, and when they respect you more, they love you more. It's like the whole Arab thing that people say. You know, it's like how the Arabs say it again. In order for us to be better friends, our tents need to be further apart. It's just sometimes you're just too close to people. So it's time for us to find our own way instead of following this nonsense generation after generation going down the wrong road. And so that's what we have to say. Goodbye people, good day. Thank you.